TIL that Tim Burton was originally chosen to direct Spider-Man 2002 but eventually declined because "I'm just a DC guy," citing his experiences filming Batman and Batman Returns, and thus, the directing role was given to Sam Raimi. Tim Burton also isn't a comic book fan, while Sam Raimi loves the classic era of Spider-Man. I don't necessarily think you have to be a fan of the source material to create a good adaptation, but one of the reasons I love the Raimi films so much is that you can tell that there's such sincere appreciation behind them. I know that his pull quote is on the Killing Joke hardcover. That means he likes one comic book. I know a lot more about Raimi now than I did when this first came out. We watched it for the first time in ages, and near the end when Green Goblin's hand shot out of the dirt in the final cemetery fight I said, "Wait, did Raimi direct this?" And sure enough, he has to have some kind of morbid or death-related gag in every movie. Funny how it was either him or Burton for a generally upbeat IP like Spider-Man. Thank goodness, may be unpopular opinion, but Tim Burton sucks. He had like 2 good movies in the 90s and the Marvel Universe would suck under his watch. Sorry, but the Batman movies are terrible cartoonic tragedies. He should stick with stop motion. It's good when directors recognize they might not be the best fit for a job and decline instead of just taking the payday. Obviously Tim Burton is a terrific director, but I don't think he would have been a great fit for Spider-Man. It still kinda boggles me that the beginning of the superhero movie revival and start of the MCU was directed by the same guy who made a movie so bloody that the UK put him on trial for obscenity. Love the Evil Dead franchise. James Cameron came very close to directing a Spider-Man movie in the early 90s with Leonardo DiCaprio as Peter Parker. But negotiations with the studio fell through and he ended up doing Titanic instead. Imagine, we could have had Johnny Depp as Spider-Man and Helena Bonham Carter as MJ. Missed opportunity. No, she'd have been Gwen Stacy. Carter isn't allowed to survive a Tim Burton film. Christina Ricci as Gwen. Josh Hartnett as Flash. Winona Ryder as Black Cat. Johnny Depp as Norman Osborn. Christopher Walken as Doc Ock. And Elijah Wood as Peter Parker. Thank Christ. Tim Burton sucks. He's a kid in school who did weird thing for the sake of being weird. It's annoying. He made one good movie. With Tim Burton we would have had cameos or roles by Helena Bonham Carter. With Sam Raimi, you get Bruce Campbell. The choice is obvious. I'd count Tim Burton would have done with the Goblin and the rest of the Sinister Six. But I bet he would have had a ton of fun with Venom. Honestly, I'm glad it didn't work out that way because I prefer Peter Parker to not look super pale and somewhat malnourished. I am not a Raimi fan, but the movies were good. Burton was great for Batman but not for an upbeat superhero like Spider-Man. I wonder if that's one of the reasons Danny Elfman was selected for the score, being that he's Burton's go-to music man. Didn't Tim Burton have a terrible time directing Batman Returns, so I figured he would be happy to get hired by Marvel. Now the same actors that are in DC movies are in Marvel movies. They are great actors, but we have to stop this, haha. Another fun fact is that for the longest time I thought Sam Raimi was Egon from Ghostbusters from the 80s. We all know it's because Sony told them they couldn't make everyone look like they were dying of tuberculosis. I can't even imagine Tim Burton directing Spider-Man. The energy just seems all wrong. Ang Lee sits quietly in the corner hoping nobody remembers his Incredible Hulk, but then we wouldn't have gotten the masterpiece that was Planet of the Apes. He would have made Doc Ock a giant spider that Peter would have had to fight. Thank fucking God! Tim Burton's Spider-Man would have been absolutely abysmal. Burton would have fucked it up. Most overrated director in history, and thank God for that. Tim Burton respectfully only has one note: Johnny Depp as Peter Parker. Helena Bonham Carter as Mary Jane. Thus we only got one set of nipples in the 2002 Spider-Man movie.